Okay, I have a seed bed, which I actually buried tin in the ground. I buried flashing to keep the tree roots from penetrating into the soil, and it's very carefully prepared. I added compost to it, and I plant the seeds very thickly in a nursery bed, and then it's recommended after the second year you would transplant them. The reason being, the first year they're actually too small to work with. So I keep mine in a seed bed, and then I plant them out after 2 years. Okay, I'm producing 2 furrows that are 3 to 4 inches apart and about 3/4 of an inch deep. I tend to put it on the shallow side and then add soil later if I have to. And they still have some of the pulp, so they're going to stick together. I'm going to sow them pretty thickly because I feel like they can withstand some crowding initially when they're young, and then you transplant them. So I'm probably putting at least 1 seed per inch or even thicker. And they're wanting to clump together anyway, so you tend to get some places where you'll have 2 plants in one place. Yeah, these are going to be sowed pretty thick, but I'm not concerned with that because they'll be transplanted later. And they're so slender anyway. And then I'm just going to firm that soil approximately 1/2 inch over the top. Pat it down to make contact with the seeds. So you got 2 rows about 4 inches apart, planted very thickly in the row. And then I'm going to put some mulch on that. Okay, I'm going to spread some leaf mulch on that. I'll probably come back and put more supplemental mulch as winter goes on. And the further north you live, the more mulch you have to have. We live in a mild climate here, so it won't take a lot of mulch. So what I'll do is I'll check those next spring to make sure none of them are exposed or planted too shallow, and add some poplar shaving mulch to them, and monitor them through the summer for slug damage or any other wildlife predation. Goldenseal seed, if you were to purchase it, it's $800 a pound. I've talked to people who have had wild turkeys come pluck it all out. So it's a little bit too precious just to broadcast in the woods. I've had good luck germinating where they mostly come up the first year. I'm getting 75 to 90% germination on mine, so I'm very happy with that, although that's not always the case. Like for instance, this year, it was extremely rainy and I mulched mine, and I regret that I mulched them. So you have to really adjust to the weather. If it's a really rainy year, you don't want to put as much mulch on them. Whereas the year before I used mulch, it was highly successful. So that's going to be something you'll have to account for. Sawdust is found to be the best thing, not oak or pine sawdust. Hay is not good to mulch goldenseal with because it causes crown rot. So I try to use tulip poplar sawdust, which rots very quickly, adds fertility to the soil.